Okay, so if you want to know more, and if this is the first one you've seen on how to build a house, I've made tons of videos. Oh, look at this. Here's one of their eyewear. I'll just put that over here. Okay. If you've seen one or two of my videos, did you know I've got all kinds. If you don't know how to find them, go to my main YouTube channel page and click on playlists. You'll see home, then videos, then playlists, and then something else and something else. Community, about, whatever. Okay, press on playlists and then scroll down. I've got an entire playlist for all these videos I'm doing, and the playlist is called How to Build a House. Okay, and so I started before they installed the floor, when they were doing the stem walls for the footings and all that kind of stuff. I showed you everything underneath the floor. So if you've watched those, you know exactly what's underneath this floor, don't you? You know exactly how they're going to get underneath this floor. You know exactly how the water lines were run, how the gas lines were run, how the sewer lines were run, how the air conditioning ducts were run to all of their registers. Here's a register here. Here's plumbing for a toilet. Here's another register there. There's another register. You know exactly how they've got those hooked up, don't you? And how they've got the pipe, how they've installed the pipe, how they've secured the pipe, and all that kind of stuff. Where the main pipes are coming all the way over in here. The air conditioning, the main heating and air conditioning units. You know they're going to be installing them over here, don't you? They're going to be installing them right there because we talked about that before. Okay, and the tankless water heaters are going to be here. This pipe, this is so that when the car comes in here to park, he doesn't drive in too far and whack the air conditioning registers. Here's a door that goes outside. Here's a window. This is a garage door, believe it or not, all the way through. Isn't that cool? They decided to do that later. They cut this out. They cut this section out over here, and you can see the pieces over here that they cut out, and they reformed this. Somebody had a bright idea, and it's a good idea, by the way. Hey, let's cut this out. Let's make a roll-up garage door here. They'll build the dirt up on the outside. They'll build it up as high as they did over there, all the way along here, and then raise it up a little bit so that they can drive right in here and right out, or they can drive right in over here and right out. If they have a trailer, if they have a boat trailer, if they have a utility trailer, if they have two cars in here, if they have an old car in here, their classic car, and they want to park it in here, and they want to take it out once in a while, they'll go out that way instead of this way. Who knows? Okay, look how big this area is. What do you suppose is going to be over here? Look at this big, huge garage door. My word. Come on. You know what's going to be over here? He's got a big old motorhome here. He's going to love this section over here. So my guess is they'll have the motorhome here, and my guess is they'll probably have a bench over here with a tool bench and some cabinets down here, maybe a little refrigerator over here, maybe some upper cabinets, maybe some pegboard over here, and stuff like that. They might have some storage shelving over here off the side, some adjustable shelving. Who knows what they're going to do? But my word, look how nice this area is. Okay, you can do anything you want on your piece of property, and the way they were able to do that is because they're on a corner lot. You see, this is a corner lot, and they were able to figure out how they wanted to design this, and that's why it's kind of far. It's kind of far off of here. Okay, down to the front door, but there's plenty of room here. It looks like it's kind of close to the street, but there's plenty of room there, and they'll probably have a driveway coming in over at that end, and then they'll maybe have, I don't know if they're going to have something come in from the front here, or more than likely they will, or maybe they'll have their main driveway there, and it comes in, it might swirl around to this, and they might do something else over here. I have no idea what they're going to do. But they have plenty of opportunities. Remember we were talking before, was this going to be a 1-story or 2-story? Remember? And when I talked to the electrician, he was pretty sure it was going to be a 1-story. He looked at the plans, and he said he's pretty sure this is close to between 4,500 square feet and 5,000 square feet, not including the garage. Okay, so from there, over, and it doesn't really look that big, does it? But it is, because it's so deep. And that's why they had to build and figure out and design the trusses the way they designed it. I think it's a good, it's a good program. It's a good way that how they're designing this. When this thing gets all done, it's just going to look like a house that goes on forever, almost. But you can see a good portion of it is garages. You see there? 3 single car garages, 1 big old huge one. And here's a tip for you on the single car garages. I talked to the guy who was framing this, or the contractor, and he said they designed these single car garage doors 2 feet wider than what they were supposed to be. Okay, and so you can get your doors the standard size, or you can order them 2 foot longer. So then when you go in, you don't have to squeeze it right in. And I kind of like it now. I've always been thought, hey, how come people don't have more 2-car garages? I would have maybe first thought put a 2-car garage and a single car garage. But the thought here is, if you have single car garages, and if you got to have a gap between each one, as you pull in, you've got plenty of room between cars to open your door without whacking it into your next car. Can you imagine if you had a 2-car garage? You barely have enough room to squeeze 2 in, and then you're always fighting, especially if you have groceries or suitcases, whatever, and opening up your side door and crack right onto your other painted, your other nice car. Your kids do it. Oh, sorry, Dad. Sorry, Mom. Yeah, I know you told me that. And you try to hang some Mickey Mouse thing in between the cars so that they don't whack it. I've seen that in some cars, some garages, but they didn't do that here. They didn't do that. They didn't have to. It might have been nice to have the single car garages just slightly a little bit taller in case you have a taller truck. Maybe you got a motorhome. You got a little bit taller truck. They could have made this door a 9-foot tall door instead of an 8-foot tall door, or something like that, or 10-foot, whatever, depending how much room you have for your headers and all that kind of stuff. And see, they would have had. I think they would have had enough room here. Let's just quickly take a look. See, they would have had enough. See how dark this thing is now? And it really should be lighter than that, but my video camera's messing up. So I'm gonna have to get a new one. But see, they could have very easily ran this header up 1.5 feet, 2 feet higher. And all these 3 doors, they could have ran 10-foot tall doors. You know, that way if you have a car and you got a rack on there, a truck with a rack, and you've got some wood on your rack, and now you can't go through your garage door. Or you got one of those missile things on top of your car, or you got a couple bikes up there. Oh yeah, I gotta take the bikes down before I go into the garage. You wouldn't have to do any of that if you had these garage doors up higher. Too bad. And you know what? If I would point that out to somebody, they would say, hey, you're right. We probably should have done that, and we would have, had we have known. It's just something I'm just seeing here for the first time, and I'm only mentioning it to give you an idea, so that if you get ready to build your house, I mean, look at this house. I mean, when they get done with this house, it's going to be over a $2 million house, okay? So my theory is, because they've got this big old tall thing here, because they're going to do all kinds of nice things in there, wouldn't it have been nicer to make these garage doors up a little bit higher? As it is, because your walls are up higher, it almost looks like the doors are squat, almost like they're lower than what they should be. But no, they're not. They're standard height, so they're okay. They're okay with it. And anyways, that's what I thought about that. Ooh, doggies. Well, that's all I got for this time. But I'll be back with more videos, and I hope you're enjoying these, because guess what? I'm gonna make more videos of this anytime I'm at home. I like to go to my mother's back and forth every couple, 3-4 weeks, and then I'll see her for a week at a time, or 2 weeks. This time I happen to be gone 3 weeks, and I just knew they'd have the rest of the perimeter walls done. Remember, they didn't have any by the front door, maybe, and in the back they ended up doing that. They put the beams up. They've got all the lots of the trusses in. They've got some of the plywood up, some of the barge rafters, not barge rafters ready for the barge rafters, the fascia boards. They've got some of that stuff on. They are on a roll. I knew they would be by the time I got back. Okay, so next time, what am I going to show you? Well, we'll see. We'll take a look and see what they've done with the roofing over there and some other things. Hey, every time I come out here, there's something new to see, so stick around.